Well, I think I always say tap out your local market first. Whatever closest city you have to yourself will usually have some form of talent representation. Vet them harder than you would a used car salesman. Make sure that they're not exploitative. Look up reviews, hop on discords, talk about people who've had personal experience with them. Don't trust reviews online because those can be seeded. Find somebody that you respect. You should never pay an agent anything up front. It should always be a portion of your earnings. And in order to get that representation, you'll need the tools at some point, which for a voiceover artist is a demo. For on camera is a headshot and some form of resume of the work that you've done in the past. And if you're building those things, anything will do. You can do student films, you can do plays, and then you work your way up. Theoretically, a demo should be a collection of your works that you've done in the past. But until you get to that point where you're booking work, you can find reliable copy online. You can find a coach or a producer to help you create a demo. I suggest 1 minute for each form of voiceover you want to get into. I think your first three should be commercial, animation, and promo. And beyond that, you are submitting into the sea with a bunch of other people that are submitting. So be tenacious and do your due diligence and look to your local market first. And then once you grow beyond them, then you can start to send out your tendrils into larger markets like the largest region in your area. Let's say you live in St. Louis, find the agency in St. Louis, and then once you've tapped out that market, maybe you could look into Chicago, where they're going to be casting out of regional areas. And then once you outgrow that market, then you can look to the coasts. But outside of that, I say think big, start small, and make sure that you're ready technically before you start putting your demo out into the world, because a lot of places are long lasting like agencies, and you're going to want them to remember you in the best possible way. It's not to say you can't resubmit in the future, but the opportunity is not going to be as easy as making a first impression. That's about it. I'm sure you've got a million more things,
No, that's
Steve.
great. You
Oh,
covered almost everything that I was going to say. The only other thing I would add to that is the forever nature of a demo these days, especially if you're posting it online or YouTube or wherever you're putting it. Just know that that will be there forever, and people will remind you, even if you take it down, somebody will have recorded. So you really want to make sure that it's great
yeah.
when you're putting something up there, and not just
Mm-hmm.
good, but it has to be really good.
Yeah.
And the other little thing that I would just add to that is for those of you who are just starting out, don't rush to get an agent. You don't need one right away. There's lots and lots of things you can do, especially if you're in the learning stages and you're not really ready to put yourself out there. A lot of people try to do that and they put the cart before the horse and they get shot down. And especially if you sign up with an agency and then they, give you a bunch of copy and you're not really qualified to do it yet, which I
Yeah.
was with my first agent. I was a little green coming in. And I would try to read for everything. And it was like, oh, I had no business. Knowing what I know now, I had no business reading for that stuff until you get a little bit of foundational stuff together too. So you don't have to rush right into getting an agent or getting a demo or investing in big equipment. There's a lot of stuff to do, a lot of that foundational work that's critical before you start putting yourself out there. So,
Yeah, I agree. I think developing a good community of people that you trust, whether it be close friends or family that you can feel like sharing your work with, that you know will give you an honest answer. If
mhm,
if your mom has a tendency to sweeten everything that you do, then go to your uncle who's going to shoot you straight. You know what I mean?
right.
So I think that there's a lot of places online that can do that, discords and stuff like that. But again, vet them just like you would vet an agent, and make sure you've got a healthy community that's
Mhm.
helping you grow, and not that's not maybe competing against each other so much.
Yeah.